Bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. So today in the booth we've got the newest release from Fanshobby. This is the Fanshobby MB-12 Athena. I just picked this up from Kapow. It came through my letterbox the other day, so now let's take a look at this figure and have a look and see how good this girl really is. First of all, it might be worth explaining, I guess, who Athena is. So Athena, yes, is the base that the Autobots had, so that's where I guess that's where they get their name from, or certainly the planet it was based on. But this is from the Super Guard Master Force series. So no, this is not the bastard child of Red Alert and Jazz. This is Minerva. So this is actually a Trans-Tector from the Headmaster Juniors. So in the Super Guard Master Force series, 3 Earth children become Headmaster Juniors in this series, and Minerva is with the female of the group. I think she was a daughter of an ambassador, and she joins the group. And after her plane's attacked by the Decepticons, and then in episode 3 or episode 4 they finally get these Trans-Tectors. So this is a lifeless robot, and then when Minerva connects via the head, that's when they become the junior headmasters. Let's start, as we always do, with the packaging. It's a nice little box, some really nice art. You see the bot mode there, even though the eyes light up. Minerva does not have lights up eyes. Says Fanshobby on the bottom, the alt mode, and that's the actual size of the minifigure. Master Builder MB-12. On the top it just says Athena, Fanshobby. Side you've got a picture of Athena. On the back you've got the product shots plus all the other releases that they've got. So you've got God Bomber and the Power Master, and you've got some of the other figures for you to collect there as well. It shows that it comes with some spare faces. The driver can fit in the cockpit. Car mode, junior power driver there, robot mode, and then you've got the old power settings here, similar to the other headmasters, and highly posable minifigure. Bottom picture of the car, and on the other side is just a mirror image of that. So the box is really nice, shows off everything very well. You also get a lot of stickers with this, a lot of sticker detail with this. What's quite nice though is that you get spare stickers, so these ones are currently on, and then I've got a spare set as well. I think these could get damaged as they are on some parts where you're transforming. You also get a lovely little card here as well. This is just a cardboard card, so it's not one of the more fancier plastic ones. Just with strength, wisdom, speed, courage, firepower, endurance, and tactics. A nice little stats card there to go with the box. And then, as always, we get the destructions. Now, the destructions on this are pretty good. You can see how you need to transform. The only tricky part is actually the bit that I've opened it to. This bit I found a little bit tricky, trying to understand what the instructions actually what it is to do. So, but overall these destructions are pretty nice. They're in the fold out format that I really like. Okay, so now let's take a look at the main event herself. So this is Athena, aka Minerva, and this mode is really nice. Really nice Porsche 911 mode here. Obviously, like I said, it looks very much like Red Alert and Jazz had a child, but this is classic. This is very nice. It looks so much like the version we get on the cartoon. Really nice. You've got some rubber tires, and this is sticker detail here, and then you've got this nice little swoosh that goes all the way through here, all plastic. Some translucent red on the back, sticker detail here again on the number plates here. This is actually removable, so that you can fit the driver inside, and we'll take a look at that in a second. Then you've got the lights here. There's no lights or anything. I love this translucent blue that's all the way through it, so that you can see really nice. The underneath, you can see where the transformation is. When I got this out of the box, it didn't roll. It had really no ground clearance when I got it out of the box, so I was actually concerned, because there isn't a lot of ground clearance with this, but I was concerned that there was an issue with mine. But then after I transformed it into the robot mode and I transformed it back to this car mode, it had the ground clearance, so there was just a slight challenge with the transformation when it came out of the box. Now we'll take a look at the packing figure. So this is Minerva. This is the power driver, as they call it here, and it's a nice enough little figure, but unfortunately this is not without its issues. We'll have a little closer look at the detail. The head sculpt on this one is a nice enough head sculpt, really nice blue, some whites, and the colours, the reds and the whites, are really nice. You come down the bottom and you can see you've got a lot of moulded detail in the feet, which is really nice. Around the back, obviously it hides the face. The top of the head is removable and you can replace this face, but it's a little bit of a parts former when it gets to the transformation. Articulation wise, you get some articulation on the head, a full 360. The arms will articulate here at these points, and the legs will also articulate as well, which is great. However, mine has a real problem that this leg, as soon as I articulate it, it just pops off. So this is a real problem that I have with mine. I don't know if anybody else does, but for me, I have a real issue here with the leg constantly popping off. So I don't know if the ball joint on mine is slightly too big, and maybe I need to shave it down, because it just wants to pop off at every opportunity that it can. And it's just this leg. So if I just if I move it again, it just pops off every 2 seconds. Mine wants to pop off, unfortunately. So yeah, as with a few things with this, it's a beautiful figure, but it's not without its issues. Now for a very quick comparison, we will bring out power bases, Power Master aka Jimrai, or Haikyuu, and you can see the difference between them. There's a huge size difference between these two, but also there's a massive quality difference between these two. And since they're from the same series, I'm actually surprised, because I don't think in the TV series that they are any bigger. I think they're both the same size, so it's a shame that there is this difference in size and quality between these two. This is a much better quality figure, and you can go back and see my full review on Power Baser on a previous video, or I'll link it around here now. On this figure as well, you also get the top of the head for when it's in bot mode, and we need to put this on top of the headmaster. And then we also get these two weapons here and here, and these just fold out. But what I do think is pretty good is that they have storage for everything. So to access the inside of this, you just kind of pull on this piece here, and then everything else will pop out. And then inside of the car, you can then position Minerva, and you can get Minerva to first of all sit inside the car. So Minerva will just sit in the car here. Once you've got her in the car, you can flip this down, and that kind of looks like the steering wheel then, so she actually sits in the car, which is cool. But then if you come around the back here and you flip up this piece that's just here, you can actually have a tab here and you have a tab here where you can fit these guns into the tabs. So you see you got one just tabbed in here now, and then the other one you just stick in there like so. So the guns just sit in place there, and then there's even a space for you to store the head, the top of the head, while it's in this mode. You just push these pieces back together and then stick 2 parts of the top into the head there, and then everything, the whole pack then just sits together, and you clip this piece in, lift this up again, and just make sure that everything is together, and then slot it all back down and back together. And then you have everything together and it's all inside, which is quite nice that you can get everything together inside the car with Minerva driving. Nice. So the alt mode's good, car mode's very good. Let's now have a little look at doing some comparisons here. So we'll do a comparison with Siege Red Alert, so you can see the size difference between these two little ambulance sports cars, and you can see the Minerva is bigger, so this is more on your masterpiece scale. This deluxe figure is a lot smaller in comparison with the Fanshobby version. If we bring out the TFC 10 to kill or 1000 kills, I have to move the camera for this one. You can see that these two scale quite well together, because in the show 10 to kill was a lot bigger than the figures, and certainly definitely a lot bigger than the alt modes when he was trashing the cities, going all the time. So I think these two scale actually quite well together and look well together, even though they are from two separate lines. Transformation time, and the first thing you're going to do on the transformation is remove this piece here, so that you can get all of the stuff that you did have in here together. Flip that back, remove the headpiece out and unbuckle the back here, and just remove these guns that we put in before, because we don't want to have all those involved in this transformation. So once you've removed all of the stuff that was stored, we can then start to look at the transformation itself. So first thing up for real on the transformation is we separate these as we already did, and we fold these two pieces in once we unbuckle the side here, and then we can fold this piece in here. Once we have all of this separated and we're ready to go, we can then move these bottom pieces and separate this out and bring it down like so, and we'll do that on the other side as well. So we should have the whole car kind of in this situation. Then on this we fold down the glass, or the plastic glass piece, and then fold this piece up. So we'll do the same on this section, fold up and then fold this up, so that you have those nice and flat. And then the wing mirrors, just so they don't break, fold them down and fold them down there, so that you've got them nice and flat against it. This is why I said that it's great that they've got such stickers, because you are sliding things and sliding your thumbs and stuff past it, so it's good that we have all those. Then after those pieces, we're bringing these two sections in and in, so that they just lock down there. Then after that piece, just move these to the side, move this up, and you can move this down. These bits are going to kind of swing round, and you want them to come round to here, because these are actually going to slide underneath here, so you need to kind of fold it, because this is actually really nice, this bit. I like this quite a lot, this piece of the transformation. But you want it's a little bit tricky the first time that you do it to swing everything round, bring it together, and then bring it past those joints there to send it down to form the waist here. Yeah. So you just fold everything down there into the bottom, and then you fold it down, and then you see this has now become the waist. That's a really nice piece of the transformation there. While we have everything together, we can now just unclip the legs from each other. This way you work out and make sure that you've done the number plate stickers correctly so they're not ripping each other off. Then once you've separated this, you're going to come around the side, unclip this piece right here that will just swing everything out. Then it gets a little messy down here at this point, just there's a lot that goes on with the legs down here, but this is where you're going to fold it round, but bring the leg out. So now the leg is fully opened up, you just bring the toe down, fold this round, bring this piece around here, clip this back in, and then bring all of this kind of round and make sure that this piece here goes into the little port that's there, and then you have the leg transform there, and then this piece just folds back on itself to make the foot. So we come around and do the same on this side, just unclip there, fold this piece out and in, then the leg itself just needs to come through here. There we go. And then at this point you fold the foot down, you bring this back round, clips just go into the sides here, and then this piece just clip in there and fold the foot in. This though, and this I'll tell you, is one of my challenges with this figure. Again, this port on this side, on mine, it just doesn't stay in, no matter what I do. Again, I don't know if the tab is too big for the hole or if the hole's slightly too small, but I have real problems with this one. This one, perfect, stays in. Just on this side, I have some issues trying to get it to stay in, so you'll see it pop out numerous times during this, during the transformation and during positioning and all that. But then we have Minerva's legs. With the legs fully transformed, we now come up to the side where we can just move all of this out and fold the arm down. This is where the instructions help you a little bit, but you need to move this bar and actually twist the bar around so that it's like that. Okay, so it's the bar that twists, everything else kind of needs to stay in the same place so that you can get the positioning right on this, because if you don't get it right, and I'll show you now, if you just kind of fold it around like this, you'll end up with something that doesn't quite transform the way that you want it to. But you need to just make sure that this is as close as possible, otherwise yeah, you could end up with it looking like that. So the bar needs to be folded on its own, and then it can be brought up, and then you get that nice closeness that you want on the side. So just remember to try and flip the bar, everything else stays the same. And then we have the fully transformed body. With the body transformed, we turn our attentions to the back piece that just kind of folds in on itself. This comes up and then this switches around, so it's quite cool. I mean, this part, just for me, it looks a little bit like a GoBot head at this point. if you'll remember what the GoBot heads look like. And then you just clip this onto the back, so this has got a port there and a port there. that just slides on there, so that gives it the nice look that you're going for. And at this point, yes, it's a headless GoBot at this point. So now we need to work on Minerva's head. So again, the legs popped off Minerva. Again, this is a constant challenge for me with this figure, as you can see, guys, that this leg port on the minifigure is just not with it for me. On the head, very simple, you just fold the body over, and then the legs have got lots of hollow spaces inside for them to clip together. Mine obviously has this hips issue where this leg wants to constantly pop off, so it's not helped when you want to do something with them and actually fold it in. Then the arms, they've got little ports here and here, so the head locks in. Then you have to pick up the piece of the head that we had that was in the come separate, so that then just slides into the front, and then you've got the fully transformed head of Athena, and then that just pops itself into this hole here. Then we have our fully transformed Athena figure. So now let's take a look at the main event, the full figure of Minerva, aka Athena. And it's a beautiful, beautiful looking figure. It's very, very cartoon accurate. I'm amazed by the job that they've actually been able to do here with this figure. It looks, aesthetically, it looks beautiful and very, very cartoon accurate. Going close for the head sculpt, really nice blue eyes, nice little smiling face there as well, which is pretty cool. The head sculpt is nigh on perfect towards the cartoon. As we go through, lots of red plastic detailing, some silver paintwork here and some blue here. There is some stickering detail that I've actually not put on yet for this review, but I will put it on at a later date. The detailing down the bottom, obviously this was the front of the car, so this is all stickering detail. This is all plastic. The tires fit in nice. I really love the way that this figure looks with the top of the car just sitting here on the top of the arms. We come around the back, and the back is really nice because of the way that the top of the car removes and then transforms into this piece to make it a very, very flat, even though there is still a bit of a backpack there. The whole figure looks really, really nice in this mode. When we come to the articulation, you get some really nice articulation on the head and a little bit of movement, but it is hampered a little bit by the backpack. You get really good range of movement from the arms. Again, you just need to be careful of the backpack when you're moving everything, but you get a full 360 on the arms. You can get an arm bend there, and if you move this, there's another arm extension that will come off here. Then you can manipulate the arm here however you want as well. At the elbow, you get a really nice double joint on that elbow as well. Quite thin arms on this. It's a female bot, so they do have quite female arms, similar to the Elita one or the Chromia in Siege. Coming down to the hands, and they have really nice wrist articulation here at the hands, and then they've got like double fingers, so you've got the hand and then you've got the fingers that wrap around as well, and then the thumb is separately articulated as well, which is really, really nice. Hip articulation is great. You're on a bit of a ball joint. We obviously, during the transformation, we created the hips quite nicely. Maneuverability is hampered slightly by the backpack, but you do get a nice ab twist and a very nice ab crunch. Legs are on really nice articulation, no ratchets, but really nice sturdy ball joints. Knees are slightly hampered here because of there's so much going on here, and the pegs hold together just about on the legs. There is some challenges. especially with this leg. You see mine's popped off again here. This one does not want to hold on for me. And then the toe, you've got some nice rocker joint there, and you've got a lot of articulation there in the legs as well. So overall, articulation wise, great. Figure looks fantastic, really nice articulation. The legs are a bit of a challenge. So accessories in this mold, we do get, if I can get it focused, we do get another head here. So this is a kind of a more serious face. If I can get it to focus in. Yeah, this is a more serious face. I'm not really feeling this one. I'd much prefer to have the kind of smiley face that we have here currently with this, so I won't be swapping the faces over anytime soon. The guns are quite nice because the guns fit into the side ports on here and the side port here on the leg. So, and you've got options. There's slots on both sides, so you can position them in the legs however you really want. But it's nice that in robot mode that she's got little gun holsters basically in robot mode, which I think is pretty cool. And then the guns themselves, they are really nicely done in white with silver tips here as well, so that's really nice. Transform just like so, and then they have the smallest handle down the bottom, so you kind of have to get something to really get into that. So the bottom of the handle just comes out like this, and then you've got the full gun, as with a lot of the MP Fanshobby and third party, has these little slots here that just fit into the hands. So if I move the thumb out, you can see here that we have a little port there for everything to just fit into. There. It goes in really nicely actually. The hand opens up more than most figures do, so that's helpful. The other hand, again, you open it up and she'll close them like that, and then she's got both of her guns that she can pose with. Okay, so now we have Minerva or Athena with some double gun action, and they fit in the hands really nicely, so you can pose Athena however you want pretty much with the double guns. Really nice. I like this. Very cartoon accurate, like I say. So there, they look great. We then come on to one issue that actually Fanshobby have brought themselves, is this head. Let's hope that this goes well. I can remove the head. Luckily my minifigure's head stays on. The leg comes off as does with mine, but the minifigure's head stays on. Now this is a very tight joint in here. What Fanshobby are saying, if you go onto their Instagram and their Facebook, they actually have a video on there saying that if your head comes off and gets stuck in the body, you should put it back together and then use some Vaseline on that port to loosen everything up, so that you don't have that issue in the future, because it is a very tight port. So this figure also has an added feature that when you open up the chest piece here, you can see the power ratios there. So it doesn't work with the head like most things where you put the head on and then those go up. This actually works when you raise the chest, the power levels raise as well, which is pretty cool. You can see that they still have that gimmick. I like it when headmasters still do that, because that was from the original gimmick, and it's in certainly all of the Japanese versions of the cartoon, so it's pretty nice to still have that in this. So now for some comparisons, and first of all, let's bring out Red Alert again for the comparison. So you can see she stands a lot taller than red alert, so this is why we said it's more of a masterpiece scale here. If I bring in Tentakill, I've left Tentakill or 1000 kills in his alt mode just because a lot of the time Minerva was fighting Tentakill in this mode rather than the bot mode, apart from when they're fighting the bigger version. But that's pretty good. I like the way that they scale together. They're a similar size and I think they look great together, both being made from similar plastics rather than having any kind of die cast in them. And then just for show, we can also bring in the Fanshobby Power Baser. So if we bring in Power Baser here and see how she scales with Power Baser. Let's pull back slightly here. We can see that she does scale quite well with Power Baser, but Power Baser is huge compared to her. On to my final thoughts on this figure, and it's a mixed bag. I was really looking forward to this figure. As I've already said, I'm currently watching Super God Master Force again at the moment and going through it and really enjoying that. So when I saw that a figure of Minerva was coming out, I was hyped, put the pre-order in straight away. And psychologically, I guess I'm predisposed to like this figure because I'm going through the TV series at the moment. Aesthetically, looks, both forms, fantastic, really good. However, I have to say it is riddled with issues, mine. From the tabs to the bottom of the leg, the head issue, the leg issue on my minifigure. I can't recommend this figure at the moment. It's about $60, I think. It's $45 in the UK. For me, there's just too many issues with my version. Hopefully, let me know, guys, if you have similar issues. I know Fanshobby they are very open to feedback, and they keep posting videos on how to improve the figure and how to transform the figure correctly and do all this. So that's great, and they're doing great work. But similar to my version of Power Baser, the tabbing issues, it just lets the figure down. Like some of my tabs on my Power Baser, if you go back and look at my video there, they don't quite slot together in the way that they're supposed to. So yeah, again, a figure I was really hoping to like, very similar to the Power Baser. Really wanted to like this figure, and it just fell short of my expectations, and certainly from a QC point of view, I have challenges with my figures. So guys, up to you, I guess, whether or not you pick this up. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments on this one, and I'll see you in my next video in a bit. Peace.